I don't know how bad the wind noise and train noise is going to be up here, but figured I would try and do something from the rooftop. The pool's a little bit too busy to talk on, so we're sitting off in the corner. At least there's a little bit of a view. Yeah. Um, Heading to the sky deck tonight, so I'm gonna try and see if I can record something from there. I don't know how busy it's gonna be, but um, I'm sleeping a lot and still not really getting much rest. I feel hungover, even though I didn't really drink, but yeah, I just feel groggy and unrested, which is like I think the only sleeping pill I've ever taken that actually made me feel good in the morning was Ambien. And yeah, that's not very easy to get anymore. So even in places like this, um, yeah. What else? Uh, I think I'm gonna head back to Singapore and Macau maybe for a couple of nights. I need to book all of my flights soon. Um, yeah, so that's where that's at. I need to get a hold of the accountant very soon as well. But all signs point to being in Canada by the end of September for sure. Which is not how I saw my life going, unfortunately. But that is where we're at. Lucky me. Going to the land of the free and prosperous. Um, it's a beautiful city, Kuala Lumpur. Lots of good architecture. Singapore, same thing. Some of the buildings are amazing. Like, just so beautiful to look at. I don't know what I did to my shoulder, but it hurts all the time. Also, whatever's in my chest and shoulders is like pinches off the blood flow in my arms. So I don't think that there's any fixing that at this point. It's more about learning how to sleep in different positions that don't cut circulation off in my body. What else? Tired, depressed, running out of money, running out of options, running out of everything. Hope. Running out of hope. I think I ran out of hope a long time ago, actually. Uh, yeah, I think it's important to stop being the hero of your own story at some point and just be the result of actions and accept that and live that and appreciate it for what it is. Like all the talk about the one in whatever it is, 43 trillion to be alive and made of stardust and and all of the other grandiose thoughts that are like essentially true, but I don't know that it's helpful to believe in abstract chance to that degree. I guess unless you believe that you used up all your chances just by coming into existence. Yeah. I know I've used up all my chances over the course of my life. And I was thinking about this, like when I was like 12, I thought I was like going to be this amazing writer and artist and creator and make these fantastic stories, and I read all day long and I created in my head, and I had this like vivid imagination. And then when I was like 14, I thought I was like a computer genius, and that was going to be the direction of my life, programming and developing, and I was ahead of the curve on this, and I was just destined to be this technological millionaire, whatever, building computers and writing code, and then when I was 16, I thought that I had figured out this way to make massive amounts of money illegally, and I figured all these things out where like I didn't really exist anymore, and I could weave in between this world that I wasn't supposed to be in. And so that gave me like this leg up that I was just going to be untouchable and very prosperous, and all of these things in short bursts were true, but I never followed them to fruition, and just kind of like held on to these ideas. Like even I think when I was 17, I thought about like reprogramming the AIDS virus to inject new sequences in and like restructure cells, and I think that is like some of the basis of what like the mRNA stuff works on. But anyways, I didn't know enough to, and I even though I wanted to go to university for bioengineering, I didn't do any of these things, and even things like cooking and the creativity there that I did excel at for a time. I was so resistant to having that be a part of my life that I walked away from that, and I walked away from anything intellectual, and had this whole career built on like physical strength and physical abilities and things like that. And even when I excelled in that, it was all built on these falsehoods of like how special and intelligent I was, without doing the actual work a lot of the time. And so often I felt like a failure, and I felt like a lot of like out of place very often. And so here I am today, traveling around the world for the third time as an imposter, as a failure, as a nobody, with no prospects and no value and nothing to offer anyone. And that is probably my legacy. That will be what I'm known for, is not being anything to anybody and not having much to offer the world. Falsehoods and empty promises and fake value. The train might be overrunning my sound here. Yeah, so I'm still nobody. I've always been nobody, and maybe it's time to start accepting that, instead of believing that somewhere down the road I am going to be somebody special somebody that has some value, somebody that supports something. Much like the fallacy that adults know what they're talking about. It's like I finally reached the journey point where I realized that these things are never going to happen and it's never going to be okay. And that it is okay in not being okay, but it's never going to be any different than this. Yeah. So we'll leave on that happy thought, and one of these days I will try again tomorrow. Maybe I'll get it right. Maybe tomorrow's the day. Tomorrow's the day I get it right. Tomorrow's the day.